Yeah. Get high rapper. The man hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the man hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws. Yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down? It's going down. I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back. I can double up. I got to watch it for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules and know that if you fair and foul. Ref blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the line. It's the man hour though, now we going live.
And what is up, everybody? Michael Buckcusher here, coming with you, Mike and Mike, Man Hour, live, raw, and uncut sports talk on this Tuesday evening, live here on Facebook and YouTube.com/Mike and Mike Man Hour. Guys, we are 15 days away from NFL kickoff season, and it is getting antsy over here. Mike LeBlanc will be joining us here in a second or two, maybe 5 minutes, however long it takes him to jerk the pickle. But nonetheless, guys, we have an action-packed show for you going on tonight. We have the one and only Matt Benz on the show at the first segment here. After the first break, Matt Benz comes at you with the NFL preseason power rankings. Matt Benz does the power rankings for RTF Sports Network. So if you guys have not liked the RTF Sports Network page or Instagram page, you need to, because that's where all the power rankings will come out on that stuff. Also, get all the house cleaning out of the way. We're still giving away that $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is like our Facebook page and share the content. Share this live feed right now. Get you 11 entries or 10 entries into the $100 Amazon gift card. Once you hit a 500 milestone there, 500,000, 1,500, 2,000, etc., we will give away the $100 Amazon gift card. Also, if you are watching this on YouTube, we are giving away some stuff over on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you, but you have to be watching the comments to see what is going on over there. What is up, Jameson? Welcome to the show. And yes, Mike Reeves. Mike is a pickle jerker. Yes, he is doing that right now. Woo! Also, guys, RTFSportsNetwork.com. We are live on noon edition East Coast time, Monday through Friday. Now, it is Tuesday, and usually on Tuesdays, we kind of do some Mike Stotts and whatnot. But first things first, guys, we're going to jump into that interview with Matt Benz right off the bat here. So sit back, relax, and enjoy 15 days, 23 hours, 12 minutes, and 44 seconds until Kansas City Chiefs take on the Houston Texans at Arrowhead Stadium for the 2020 NFL season. So enjoy the interview with Matt Benz.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the show. As promised, we got a special guest coming up in Matthew Benz from Twist and Benzy's Bit, but he also does the NFL Power Rankings for the RTF Sports Network. So without further ado, welcome Benz to the show. Matt, what is up, man?
What's going on, Pimp? Man, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, these are your first official power rankings for the NFL 2020 season. Of course, these are preseason rankings, so I kind of spoiled them a little bit on Sunday, but let the people know what your picks are. Like,
sure.
What are your power rankings?
Yeah, not a problem. So these are my way too early preseason, without the preseason games, power rankings. So I'll get into them right now. At number 10, I have the Green Bay Packers. I am a huge Vikings fan, so it pains me that they're even in the running, but they are. It's not that Jordan Love will challenge Rodgers right away. It's that Love doesn't play receiver, where the Packers are woefully under-talented aside from Devontae Adams. So given their record last year, given Aaron Jones, given Adrian Amos on defense, Jair Alexander, Kenny Clark, they do come in at the 10 spot. At number 9, I have the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be really interesting to see what Mike McCarthy can bring to this Dallas team. I mean, a lot of people think that he's really not that much different than his predecessor, but they have so much talent on offense. I'm really hyping up Blake Jarwin. I was in a fantasy football draft with Mike Reeves last night, and he actually got him in our new Dynasty League. But then again, you've got Everson Griffin, who they picked up for defensive end, Trayvon Diggs at cornerback. That will be interesting as well. So they're packed. They say they're America's team. We'll see what happens. They're at number 9. At number 8, we've got the Seahawks. I love that team. I know that Dylan of On and Off the Field, that's his squad. I am excited to see the Jamal Adams addition. And then, of course, the big hurt DK Metcalf on offense. See what goes down there. At number 7, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger missed 14 games last season. Juju missed 4 games. James Conner missed 6. Every team deals with injuries, but Pittsburgh was particularly plagued last year. So if they can stay healthy this season, there's no reason why they shouldn't be a contender for a playoff spot. At number 6, this is the hype train that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Adding Tom Brady should take care of the ball more. And with all the talent that he's not really that used to on offense with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, and I guess you can say Rob Gronkowski because of the name. We'll see how they do, and I do like their defense. I love their draft pick of Antoine Winfield at safety. He's a gopher from Minnesota, so I'm hyped on him as well. At number 5, you had brought this up with me, and I love this. At number 5, I've got the Indianapolis Colts. A big question mark. I know you talked about it, but I love their defense, and I love their offensive line. And in those two things, with a wily veteran of Phillip Rivers at quarterback, I think they will be a sleeper in of itself this season. At number 4, your favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore added some notable pieces in the offseason. They traded for Calais Campbell, who should help improve the pass rush, that only produced 37 sacks last season. They also drafted J.K. Dobbins, which should help the league's first-ranked rushing and number 1 scoring offense last season. At number 3, San Fran, the 49ers. They parted ways with Emmanuel Sanders and defensive tackle DeForest Buckner, but they replaced them with Brandon Ayuk and Javon Kinlaw. Both should be able to make an early impact. And, of course, they locked down their number 1 wide receiver. We'll call him George Kittle. How about that? At number 2, I've got the New Orleans Saints, Who Dat Nation. I believe this will be the last push for a championship for Drew Brees. It's going to be very exciting to see how he can hold it together, and if he can, because you got Jameis right there on his heels. And supposedly Jameis got LASIK. That should be the cure-all in that. But then on defense, you've got Cam Jordan, Sheldon Rankins, Janoris Jenkins, Malcolm Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore. I mean, they're stacked. So in of that, at number 1, of course, I have the reigning champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, with Mahomes, Kelsey, all the names on offense, and then you lock down the defensive tackle, Chris Jones. And then you add Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was my number 1 overall, my first-round pick in my dynasty last night at the 8th spot. I already got people sending trades, trying to trade future picks for him. It's not happening. He's going to be my franchise, and that is Benzie's top 10 power rankings.
All right, so, just to reiterate what you just said, you had number 10, the Packers, Cowboys, 9, 8, Seahawks, number 7, Pittsburgh Steelers, number 6, the Buccaneers, 5, Colts, 4, Baltimore Ravens, 4, 49ers, 2, Saints, number 1, Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs. So let me ask you this: are these the power rankings throughout the whole season, or is it like a week by week kind of thing?
This is for sure a week by week thing.
Well, because you have some people that put out power rankings that say, hey, this team is going to dominate this week, but they're not even going to win 5 games. So So like that. I just want to clarify that this is a week to week power
Yeah.
rankings.
Yeah, so
So-
how it will work is basically each Tuesday I'll be jumping on with a couple of the different shows for RTF, just kind of giving my power rankings of the week. Now, it's not really dependent on their matchup that they're about to face. It's more about what happened last week and
Right.
how they could earn the spot. So, yeah, it's exciting, man. I'm honored to be able to do power rankings for you guys.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to try to have you on here on the Man Hour at least once a week to definitely talk about those power rankings, because who doesn't like to talk about rankings like that? That is why they're out there.
Exactly.
So I do have two questions or concerns about your power rankings. First of all, number 10, the Green Bay Packers. Yes, I do like the Green Bay Packers as well. They went 13-3 last year, but they have their number 2 receiver, quite possibly could be a number 1, sitting out this 2020 season, and the Packers did not address anything on the offensive side besides another running back. Do you think the Packers are going to take what the 49ers did to them last year and just run the crap out of the ball and not worry about a passing game?
No, because they got Aaron Rodgers. So I think they will really pound like an NFC North team would, and they're going to run the ball a lot,
Right.
predominantly. But I still think Allen Lazard is going to be comp number 2. I mean, it's not ideal, but I still think the trust that he gained with Aaron Rodgers last season, you could see it in the games, how he knew he could throw the ball and he would at least catch it. There wasn't a lot of yards after catch for him, but that's okay. As all Aaron Rodgers wants is to catch the ball where he puts it, and I think that will mesh. Now, when you look at like tight end position, there's a lot of question marks there too.
Right.
And of course, if heaven forbid Devontae Adams goes down, then what? So it's interesting.
Exactly. Well, and do you know how they fix that tight end situation? They run 4 wide receivers and just put a single back in the backfield.
Right.
Tight end taken care of 100% there. Now, my next kind of raise of concern here is the Seattle Seahawks. I actually have them as my Super Bowl favorite this year going forward, and you actually only have them at 8 in the power rankings, behind the 49ers and behind the Saints. Do you not think they are the best team in the NFC?
I don't yet. Now, it's really debatable. I mean, if you take the leash off of Russell Wilson and you let him play his game, they will dominate. But can Pete Carroll set aside his ego and really let his who honestly, Russ could be the best quarterback playing currently.
Yeah.
There's a lot of question marks there. But you just got to let him out of the cage and let him do his thing. If you run the ball a lot, you're risking Chris Carson fumbling the football, which is his trait, unfortunately. Great back, crappy hands. So it's a question mark there, and there is plenty of room for them to move up throughout the season in my rankings.
And then the next one was the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe they went 7-9 last season.
I think it was 8-8, yeah.
8-8 with arguably the worst playoff or the worst quarterback player ever, or quarterback. What's the word I'm looking for here? The quarterback play. Ever in the NFL. They're bringing back a big Ben Roethlisberger. So if that defense plays half of what they did last season, couldn't the Steelers be easily top 5?
They could. The big question mark is, does Big Ben still have it after not playing for a season? I mean, the rust, I feel like he's a Pro Bowl veteran, so therefore he should be able to shake off the rust. But still, I mean, he worries me. And when you have an injury as severe as that, you never know how healed it is. So moving forward, and also James Conner. I mean, I swear every week he was questionable last season. So it's like, can he be 100%? He looks to be tip-top, but you never know. I mean, that's football, right?
Everybody looks tip-top week 0 in the NFL.
Exactly.
And like also, I think Big Ben's 36 or 37 years old as well, and he did have a career – I mean, this is a career-ending injury that he had surgery on. So I don't think he'll be ready for week 1, to be totally honest. So I would have to slide the Steelers out of the top 10 because of that factor there.
Sure.
Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hype.
Yeah.
You are riding that hype train, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I will ride the hype train until they give me a reason not to. Just in how
powerful.
powerful.
Lose to the Saints.
Well, that's going to be a great matchup in of itself, and that might put them in their place. That is what they might need. But can you imagine if they beat the Saints week 1? I mean, then the hype is just going to swell even more.
Right.
I just like the fact that you got a guy like Tom Brady in the backfield who is a fossil, old as dirt, but he's still back there and he can protect the football, and that's what he does. He protects the ball, and just imagine if they didn't have 30 extra turnovers last year, where would they have ended up? You know,
8-8 still. They wouldn't. they wouldn't been much of anything, to be honest with you. But that brings me to my next point. Tom Brady is known as a protector of the ball, 5 to 10 yard slants. Quick passes. I believe his average get the ball out of his hands is less than two seconds in the last 6 seasons. Now he has those down the field threats with a shitty offensive line. Let's be totally honest. They drafted somebody, I can't remember his name, but they drafted a left tackle.
Yeah, they drafted Wirfs. Yep.
But he's still a rookie. He's still a rookie protecting an old veteran like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to be up his ass every day, and the rookie might break. So with Tom Brady habitually, in the back of his head, hey, it's 2 seconds. It is time to get the ball out. Does that not take effect into the Buccaneers' offensive plans? Because they want to go down the field. They want to put points on the board. Tom Brady wants to nickel and dime you. Isn't that kind of like a clash there?
It is a clash, definitely. I mean, you look at theoretically Bruce Arians' offenses in the past is that run and gun down the field, push the ball, and Tom isn't do that. He's a tight end. He's a tight end marvel. And you look at O.J. Howard's season last year. What did he have? Like 8 catches for 50 yards, something like that. Now you bring in O.J. Howard and Gronk. I think it will be a twist, and I think in the end, Tom's offense is the offense that they're going to be running. They're going to go with the trusty, old faithful, and just see. So that's what intrigues me, is who's going to switch? Is it going to be Tom or is it going to be Arians? I think, honestly, Arians is just going to go with Tom and say, run it how you want. So.
What old dog can learn new tricks at the end of the day? And I like how you plugged in twist there, no pun intended, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So then the next one, I do like the Colts. I'm not going to challenge that 5 at all. They do have a solid defense. They have a solid running game, and they have T.Y. Hilton that's been there forever for Philip Rivers to throw to. Philip Rivers just needs to be shown that he can win in the postseason, much like Lamar Jackson, which brings me to the Ravens here. Obviously, I believe you made these rankings before they cut Earl Thomas a couple days ago, and you mentioned about how good that defense was, yada yada yada. With the cutting of Earl Thomas, and I believe they had a wide receiver go down as well with an Achilles injury earlier in the week as well. He was like 4th or 5th string.
Sure,
but it still adds depth, right? Does that affect your height on the Ravens at all?
Honestly, with the cut of Earl, I think that is going to make a better team chemistry, as weird as that sounds. I feel like he was really toxic to that locker room, and a guy like Harbaugh doesn't really want to deal with the drama queen. So for them to ditch that off, next man up, and see what happens, I still think they got way too many threats on the defensive side of the ball to not make up for his absence. It's still going to be a big hole. You're going to have somebody step up, but I think you'll have somebody more positive step up. And when they put up as many points as they do, how good does your defense really have to be?
Look at the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Exactly.
Point case there. So the next up was the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, they were the Super Bowl runner-ups last season, but the facts are the facts. The last 6 NFC Super Bowl losers have not made the playoffs the following season.
Right.
By these rankings, you think they are the 3rd best team in the NFL going into Week 1. Why is that?
The big thing with realizing, hopefully Deebo can come back earlier than expected. They say Week 1 is a question mark, especially now that Ayuk went down with who knows what's going to go on there.
Right.
It's question mark, but that defense is so stout. I mean, for the Vikings, you saw it there. For the Packers, you saw it there. And the Chiefs just put up enough points. That's what it was. And you got Patty Mahomes, so it just checkmated itself.
Right.
I have faith in Shanahan. It's just tough. He always gets to the end and then throws it away because he just wants to eat the clock up, and it doesn't work against these explosive offensive quarterbacks that he goes up against. So we'll see, but for now I'm going to leave them at 3 just because they earned it in my my mental aspects.
I think the biggest knock on Shanahan moving forward is the fact that he doesn't trust the process. Like I said, he likes to milk the clock. But when they get a little close, he wants to start airing it out, and that's what hurt him against in the Super Bowl. They had a 28 point lead, right?
Yep.
And the Chiefs scored 2 quick scores, and they wanted to air it out. They wanted to go blow for blow. They left what they know, they got through all playoffs to try to fight it out air by air with Patrick Mahomes. And
that's another big
good
thing.
Quarterback. But,
and he's a good quarterback. I mean, he's a Kirk Cousins, right? I mean, that's the way I see it. He's not going to do anything fancy, but hopefully he can make the throws when he needs to. That's another question mark in and of itself as well. But the big thing I see with San Fran is picking a running back out of that stable this year and utilizing them, not switching necessarily up. Hopefully Raheem gets the majority of the snaps because there's a lot of talk about McKinnon looking good. McKinnon always looks good, but that dude's got flat tires. Every year, something bad happens to that dude. He's been jinxed since then. And then you've got Tevin Coleman, who never can hold up either. They got rid of Breida. He's going to Miami. He's supposed to get a lot of snaps as well. But it's an interesting, especially in a power rankings aspect. Usually you see those awesome teams with that bell cow. Well, now you don't really see that with this squad, and it seems to work for him. So.
Right. So every year there are about 50% of these teams will just kind of fall flat on their face.
Yep.
What are the top the 5 teams that you really have worried, like say, hey, like they are up there now, but they could easily slide out by week 3 or week 4?
Sure. So with that, with the top 5, obviously I'm going to put the Bucks up there just because is it hype or is it not? As a 6, they could easily fall. Then you got to look, if the Packers lose Aaron Rodgers, what do they do? I mean, that's one of those teams where you have your whole franchise is built upon one person. So I'm going to put them up there as well. San Fran, if you don't have the offensive threats, and let's say Debo re-aggravates it, or heavens forbid something happens to Kittle, things of that nature, I don't think they could hold up either. And then another big team, unfortunately, I would say it's the Chiefs. I know that the backup quarterback, because it isn't Moore, right? Moore is the 3rd string. Who's their backup? Henne?
It was Chad Henne, but I don't know. I don't know if he retired because he was because he's at training camp now, but he has a press conference this afternoon whether he's retired.
So there's the question mark too, and I mean Matt Moore beat us last year as the Vikings, so I don't think. Let's be honest, they're not the caliber team they are without Patty Mahomes.
Right.
And so that's going to be my other big question mark. But I see Patty playing through it. You see him always wanting to play, and you see him making smart decisions with the ball for the most part. And he's got such high football IQ that it's just out of the world. So those are my question marks.
And the Chiefs also signed the XFL quarterback from the Houston Roughnecks. I forget his name, but they did sign him. I'm sorry, it was not the Roughnecks. It was the St. Louis team. Battlehawks. So So there's always that one team that you want to put in there, but you can't quite put it in there yet. What is that 10B team that you have there?
Easily for me, it's going to be, as a homer, it's going to be the Vikings. And the only reason why I couldn't put them into the rankings is because of the youth on defense. I mean, the youth on defense is crazy to me. You got Jeff Gladney, you've got Dantzler, you've got Mike Hughes, you've got all of these question marks as DBs. It's scary because you saw last year with Trey Waynes and you saw with the Xavier Rhodes, guys getting torched. And, I mean, these guys are supposed to be the pillars of the defense, and that's why they're no longer there. But you see those guys getting torched, and it's tough for me. You got a guy like Danielle Hunter. You've got Harrison Smith. You've got Anthony Barr. That defense can be, and I have faith in Zimmer, but it's tough. And then I'm a Kirk Cousins guy in of itself, and it's tough for me to be that. I ride with Kirk just because I've seen Christian Ponder. I liked Teddy, but I liked Case, but I still think Kirk brings that next level stuff just because he is what he is on and off the field, and that really carries through, and that team rides with him, except for Stephon Diggs. Boot him out to Buffalo. Have fun.
Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback at 1 p.m. Anytime after that game, he is sub.
Correct.
So, Like, I don't know if it's like that is not a knock against him.
No, it's
That's just
crazy.
those are just the stats that he doesn't
Yep.
win during primetime games.
Yep.
So with the power rankings in the season less than 15 days away now,
Yeah.
what is that one team that you see as a sleeper this year that is going to surprise some people and possibly sneak into the playoffs and make some noise?
Man, if Drew Lock can put a head on his shoulders and get it together, that team
Right.
is scary. Because you've got Melvin with the pickup, you've got a backup in Philip Lindsay, and then you've got all that youth. I mean, you look at a team like the Chiefs, how young they are and how dynamic and fast and just great route runners and
Right.
just scary. Denver is that team to me. I just see it. You got the veterans on defense as well. I mean, it's just crazy.
And they drafted some wide receivers as well.
Yeah.
First round is clear. And so if you guys did not pick up that team, that is the Denver Broncos from the AFC West that he
Yep.
thinks is a sleeper. I'm actually kind of scared of the Denver Broncos. You don't want to let them get any momentum throughout the season
No.
because playing at Mile High Stadium is a very rough stadium to play. And
Sure.
even though Patrick Mahomes got hurt versus that Broncos game last year, they still had him on the ropes.
Right.
With Patrick Mahomes in there, the Broncos had the Chiefs on the ropes in that game throughout the whole game. So, Benz, as always, man, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to talking to you in a couple weeks after Week 1 when your new power rankings come out. Any closing thoughts before we head out, man?
Hey, just make sure that you're not only catching me on Benzi's Bits on Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time, but also check out all the Twist Sports Nation stuff. You can look us up at twistsportstalk.com. I appreciate it, Buck, and we'll talk to you soon.
As always, man, you have a great day.
You too.
All right, guys, that is Matt Benz from the Benzi's Bit, the official RTF Power Rankings person for RTF Sports Network, guys. We're going to take a quick little break, and after the break, we got some more action packs, a little bit of what does. Catch us guys later. We'll be right back right after this.
So a friend of mine hit me up asking me to subscribe to her OnlyFans page. I said, all right, cool. How much is it? She said $50. Fuck out of here. $50? You pricing your vagina over Disney Plus? Disney Plus is $12. You think you worth more than $12? Disney Plus got the MCU. What, you better than Spider-Man? Your twiddling your thumbs on your clitoris is better than Infinity War, bitch? It's not. It's definitely not better than Endgame. Hell no. It's worth more than Netflix? Really? Your pussy outclassed the Ozarks? I think not. Ladies, I said it once and I'm gonna say it again. When you turn yourself into an OnlyFans girl and you over there selling pornography and shit, you are now a streaming service and you will be judged accordingly. If your shit is $50, your shit better be better than Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, and Tubi. I know Tubi free, but shit.
And guys, welcome back to the Mike and Mike Man Hour, guys. If you are on some fan-only pages, you should probably send that money over here to the Mike and Mike Man Hour and hit that donation tab and give us some money. But as promised, welcome back after the break. I do got my brother from another mother over here. Mike, welcome to the show, man. We just did an interview with Matt Benz, the RTF Sports Network NFL Power Rankings guy himself. And just to reiterate of what he just told us, he does have Packers at number 10, Cowboys at number 9, Seahawks at number 8, Steelers at number 7, Bucks at number 6, Colts at 5, 4 at Ravens, 3 at 49ers, Saints at number 2, and Kansas City Chiefs at number 1, of course. I'll give you a chance to give your top 10. What do you think?
My mind is on some money right now, Buck.
It is. Mind on the money, money on the mind.
Okay, let's go through them one more time. Number 10, who does it got?
Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay. Number 9.
Number 9, Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. Number 8.
Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Number 7, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Whoa. All
Number
right.
6,
Number
Tampa Bay, or I should say Tampa Brady Bucks.
6.
Number 5, Indianapolis Colts. Number 4, Baltimore Ravens. Number 3, San Francisco 49ers with another loss. Number 2, New Orleans Saints. And number 1, the Super Bowl champions 2020 Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh. Now, I definitely disagree with number 1.
What? How do you have the Super Bowl champs not number 1 going into preseason?
Because we're talking about power rankings, are we not?
Yeah. Most powerful team in the NFL won the Super Bowl, right?
I don't think they're the most powerful team in the league going into 2020, sir.
Give me one better.
Baltimore Ravens.
Now without Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas was on the decline.
You know who else is on the decline?
Who?
You know who?
No, he's not.
Mark Ingram, their running back.
I don't think he's on the decline. I actually think he's on the. I think he's on the upswing. Honestly.
There's a reason why they drafted who is it? J.K. Dobbins.
I think Ingram and Lamar Jackson are a great 1-2 punch. Are you going to get a whole lot of production out of Mark Ingram? No, because you got Lamar Jackson who can run out of the backfield too.
So their quarterback is a running back. Awesome.
No, shut your mouth. I mean, think about it. Put Ezekiel Elliott on. If you put Zeke on the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, do you think Zeke's production declines?
Yes.
100%. It does because of Lamar Jackson.
Right.
So to say that, Ingram's on the decline, no, I think Ingram fits perfectly in that offense. I think he plays his role very well.
He plays his diminished role very, very well. Congratulations.
Fuck out of here. And they have a better defense than Kansas City. So
They do.
all the way around offense. Offense, I put them right neck and neck with Kansas City. But what makes them a better team than Kansas City is their defense. They have a much better defense than Kansas City.
I give you that.
I don't see why you have them at number 4. Power ranking wise, Baltimore Ravens have to be number 1.
Yeah, we'll give you that one.
Number 2, New Orleans. New Orleans doesn't have that great of a defense. They have a solid offense. I don't think their defense is not where it needs to be to rank them at number 2.
Their defense isn't where they need to be to win a Super Bowl. I mean, let's just be honest, yeah.
San Francisco. I like San Francisco at number 3. I put Kansas. So at number 1, Baltimore Ravens. Number 1, number 2. Give me the Seattle Seahawks at number 2, power ranking wise.
That's a good one.
Number 3. At number 3, you can either go San Francisco or Kansas City right here. Kansas City has the high-power offense, but San Francisco has that high-powered defense. So right there at number 3, I'm going to go San Francisco, and then I'm going to put Kansas City at number 4. I like Indianapolis at number 5. They have a strong defense, and I think Phillip Rivers really gives them that much-needed life in that offense with a veteran presence and a leader. Like I've said plenty of times, I don't think he was a problem in Los Angeles. I really, really don't. So I like Indy at number 5. Tampa Bay, no. What? Why? Why is Tampa Bay at number 6? Why is Tampa Bay even in the top 10?
Hype train. It's all about the hype train. Well, let's be honest.
That's what I think it is. Yeah. It's got to be about the hype train. I mean, let me have Dallas right here at number 6. On paper.
Okay. On paper, but the game's played between the lines.
You know what? You're right, but that defense is going to be monstrous. Yes, I know they lost Gerald McCoy, but like I said last night, don't be surprised if the Cowboys go out and get Jadeveon Clowney.
Right.
Do not be surprised.
And they still drafted a defensive end, if I'm not mistaken. I forget his name, but they did draft a guy.
I mean, they revamped their secondary. We got HaHa Clinton-Dix. Is he as good as Earl Thomas? No. Is he decent enough or good enough to play the safety position for the Cowboys? Yes. Is he an upgrade from Xavier Woods 100% he's an upgrade. So give me Dallas at number 6. I like Pittsburgh at number 7. I like Green Bay at number 8. I don't think who I have Seattle Seahawks at number 2. So that leaves 8, 9, and 10.
A new subscriber. Hey,
I'm a come with one right here.
come with me.
Number 8,
Come with me, baby.
Buffalo Bills.
That's a good one.
I think they have a really good offense. They have a solid offense,
Yeah.
and their defense is definite. Their defense towards the last of the going down the stretch or the second part of the season last season really came alive.
And they finished the season 10-6 as well. So
They did.
Yeah.
They did finish the season 10-6. Give me the Buffalo Bills at number 8. Number 9. What are we talking about? Yeah, I agree. Milton Mania KC definitely has some issues at DB. That's why I have them at number 4 and San Francisco at number 3. At number 9, power rankings. I don't know. Who do you think, Buck? Number 9. Because I don't think Tampa Bay should be in there.
do you
At all.
want me to give you the correct order here?
Let's go.
Number
Let's
10.
get yours.
Number 10, I had the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh.
What they did the second part of the season, you cannot overlook that because we normally break the NFL season off into quarters, right? The first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. That second half of the season, the third and fourth quarters, and the overtime session, aka playoffs times, they shown how to basically win games, right? Give Mark Henry the ball, take the ball out of Ryan Tannehill's hands, and let Mark Henry just eat, right? So that's why I got them at number 10. They will not be sneaking up on people as much this year because they know what to expect. Therefore, I think coming out week 1, week 2, week 3, they will pop people in the mouth. But then weeks 4 through probably 9 or 10, they might fall out of the top 10 power rankings, but then they'll ramp back up again. And then at number 9, I got the Buffalo Bills. Much like what you said, I think Josh Allen is a very underrated quarterback. I would almost slide him into the top 10, top 8 quarterback in all of NFL. I think he has that much potential in front of him, and that they're building a team around him to win a lot of games. And I believe they picked up Stephon Diggs in the offseason as well. Was that the Bills or the Jets he went to? Yeah, he went to the Bills, right? Yes, Stephon Diggs went to the Bills. And then at number 8, I do have the Dallas Cowboys because, like you said, on paper they should be in the Super Bowl year in and year out. I think their head coach is definitely going to add, what they needed this offseason to really accelerate them into a powerful team. They aren't going to lose to the Jets this year. They aren't going to struggle against the 0-12 Miami Dolphins, right? They are going to show up and they're going to beat the teams that they're supposed to. They're going to beat some teams that they're not supposed to, but then they're going to lose some games that they should. So, 10-6 is not out of the question for the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe even 11-5.
Maybe.
Number 7, I do have the Green Bay Packers because, guys, we keep talking about them all off season here about how they didn't add depth to the receiver. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. They went 13-3 last year. They made it to the NFC Championship game, Mike. They did what they had to do. Yes, some of the games were ugly. When they lost to the 49ers, it was really freaking ugly. I get it, but don't sleep on them at all. They are a very, very good team. They're a very, very powerful team. And they do have that young nucleus still. Next up, I'm going to slide in the Indianapolis Colts. They're already showing that they have a great defense, a great running game, and they have Phillip Rivers. So, yes, you can say what you want about Phillip Rivers' postseason blues, whatever, like every time he has lost to Tom Brady in the playoffs, he has a kid. That is a fact. This year, he will not be popping out another kid because he will be beating Tom Brady, or he won't have to play Tom Brady. But he will be winning some playoff games this season. I actually have them as a sleeper Super Bowl pick over my Kansas City Chiefs, so do not sleep on the Indianapolis Colts at all. Next up, Mike, I think this is going to surprise you a little bit. Many people have been kind of, I wouldn't say sleeping is the right word, but maybe underestimating the power of the New England Patriots.
You know, you're hearing a lot of reports out of New England. Cam Newton is running away with the starting position.
Oh, which we all kind of expected that, right?
We already knew. And it's not really a surprise to me because if Cam Newton is on with Bill Belichick and what the hell is his name? The offensive coordinator?
Oh, Josh Daniels.
Josh Daniels, there we go. Josh Daniels already has said, like, he gets to open up the playbook with Cam Newton. You know, with Tom Brady, he really didn't get to open up the playbook because Tom Brady's not going to sit back and scramble and everything like that.
Right.
So I can only imagine what is in store for us this year watching the New England Patriots. And they have a good defense. They had one of the best defenses in the league last season.
Which that brings me to the point why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up in the top 10 power rankings here, according to Matt Benz, when Tom Brady, you know, he can have all these offensive weapons that he wants, but let's be honest, Tom Brady is a nickel dime you down the field. He gets the ball out in less than 2 seconds from the snap to the ball touches his hand. I believe it's like 1.4 or 1.5 seconds. He gets the ball out of his hands. He does not want to hang on the ball 2, 3, 4 seconds for like Mike Evans to run 40 yards down the field. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to dump it off to like Gronk and get 5, 6 yards every play. So for this whole Tom Brady's happy playing with the offensive coach and like whatnot, that is total BS. That's why I don't have them in the top 10 at all. So just to recap,
wouldn't it be crazy if the Patriots went to the Super Bowl this year and won? First year with Cam Newton. Then at that point, you can no longer say it was Brady. It's Bill Belichick.
But then I think Cam Newton is going to get the system quarterback title on like him too, right?
No, I mean Cam already went to the Super Bowl.
But he didn't win.
No, he didn't win. Von Miller was all over his ass that game. But he's already been to a Super Bowl, so I don't think you can call him a system quarterback because then you can say, well, okay, yes, he may not have won a Super Bowl, but he's been to a Super Bowl in Carolina, went to New England, went to another Super Bowl. So, no, I don't think you can call him a system quarterback at that point.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just I think if the Patriots do well, like I think they are, they're probably going to win that division. And like again, this is basically just going to solidify Bill Belichick pedigree that he has grown there. That hey, we are damn fucking good, right? So just to recap what I have here, at number 10 I had the Tennessee Titans, number 9 Buffalo Bills, number 8 Dallas Cowboys, number 7 Green Bay Packers, 6 Indianapolis Colts, 5 New England Patriots, and bringing it to number 4 the Seattle Seahawks. I like them as a Super Bowl team as well, but like our man Jameson says, a top fan over there on the Facebook page, he says that the Seattle doesn't have any pass rush, and that is 100% true. They don't have that pressure to get, or they don't have the defensive front to get to the quarterback play after play after play. So therefore, I got to knock them down a little bit in the power rankings. Number 3, this hurts me to say, Kansas City Chiefs, because of everything that you said, Mike. I mean, it's the fact that their defense is suspect at best. Yes, they come on late. The last 6 weeks of the season, they started to play like a top 10 defense. I think they finished 12th overall in the NFL as defensive points, or like the defense, how are they like rank those? But those numbers are skewed because look who they played the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Shit ass teams, right? It definitely pads the stats a little bit there. So those numbers are a little bit skewed. Number 2, I do have the Baltimore Ravens. I am very curious to see who you have as number 1. Yeah, so number 2, I do have the Baltimore Ravens because let's be honest, Lamar Jackson does do well in the regular season. He does put the team on his back during the regular season and does good things. And week in and week out, right now, I think the Ravens are better than the Kansas City Chiefs going into Week 1. Number 1, I do have the San Francisco 49ers because of that defense.
Wow.
We saw it last year. That defense carried them to a Super Bowl, right? It wasn't Jimmy G. It wasn't the passing game. The running game obviously had something to do with it, but the running game is also an extension of the defense. If you have a good running game, you're more than likely going to have a good defense because the defense stayed off the field more, they're rested, yada, yada, yada. Plus, I hear the little birdie in my ear, the old Twitter machine says that Earl Thomas has been talking to the San Francisco 49ers and talking about reuniting with Richard Sherman over there. So, just to follow up on my list here, number 10, Titans, number 9, Bills, 8, Cowboys, 7, Packers, 6, Colts, 5, Patriots, 4, Seahawks, number 3, my Kansas City Chiefs, number 2, Ravens, number 1, San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh, I can't believe you said the Niners at number 1.
The problem is they didn't really lose anybody, and they added people in the draft this year.
I get it, but Jimmy G is suspect, man, on that team. He really is. Like, I don't think that offense is up to par with Seattle. I don't think they're up to par with Kansas City. Okay. I don't think they're up to par with even New Orleans. So I don't understand why you have them solely based on their defense at number 1 in the power rankings.
Because I do my power rankings from a week-to-week basis. So my eyes tell me that Week 1 going into a game, the offenses are not going to be clicking, right? We haven't had we've had a very sheltered training camp, right? We haven't had any preseason games whatsoever. So the defense is read and react, right? You can put in all the fancy offensive plays that you want, but if the timing isn't down, it's just not there. A defense sees the ball in the air, they can go get it. I don't care if you're running a 4-3, a 4-4, a 4-2-5, or a 3-7, right? In the end, it's read and react on the defensive scheme. So Week 1, the San Francisco 49ers would probably beat every team on the top 10 list here. Now, come Week 2, I can almost foresee it now. They're going to slide down about number 5. By Week 3, they'll be number 7. By Week 5 or 6, they're probably off of the list because everybody else has caught back up to them as far as offensive scheme.
We'll see.
We will see because football is 15 days, 22 hours, 28 minutes, and 40 seconds now until kickoff, Mike. Sheesh.
Say it again.
15 days, 22 hours, 28 minutes.
You know a way to a man's heart, don't you?
24 seconds now, Mike. So, guys, so the RTF NFL Power Rankings do come out every Tuesday on the RTF Sports Network page there. Matt Benz does do these rankings for us, and those are the rankings that we'll be basing off our seasons going forward. Now, we will compare and contrast because I do have the correct list in front of me 9 times out of 10, but I got to give Matt Benz credit that he put a okay list together for preseason, right? Okay list. Okay list.
It's an okay list.
But Mike, that is going to be it for tonight, guys. If you guys have not, head over to the MikeandMikeManHour.com. Check out
go get the merch
over there. Yeah. So my T-shirt and hat was shipped today. So hopefully it should be here tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow.
Where's mine?
Did you order it yet?
You were supposed to order it for me.
I'll order it for you tomorrow, bud. I got you. I got you.
I've had a shitty week.
Me too, man. Me too. But we are in this together, right? We lock arms. We power through the storm, right? There's always sun after the rain, right? Something like that.
Always sun after the rain.
Speaking of rain, aren't you guys supposed to get like a foot and a half of rain here the next day or two?
Not here in Austin, but in Beaumont area, Houston area, they're about to get hammered. It's like 2 storms converging in one.
You know what this happened, dude? This is 2020, at its peak, right? Because it started okay, January, February, right? And then COVID hit us, and then California has the largest wildfires like on history or something like that there. And then Texas has 2 hurricanes forming to make one like massive, like isn't like the perfect storm? Like wasn't that how the movie was started? Was like 2 random ass hurricanes hitting a landfall at the same time or something like that. But nonetheless, Mike, any closing thoughts before we head out?
I don't. We got 25 more days till fucking football, fuckers. Cheers.
We out, guys. He kind of surprised me with that one. Have a good night.
That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning.
That'll bring us to the butt hitting the wrong button.